Welcome back to M Recaps, the place where movies come back to life in minutes. The world was in perfect order a century ago. The four nations, fire, water, earth, and air nomads, lived together peacefully. The Avatar was the only person who had authority over all four elements in all nations. He was also the only one who could connect with the spirit world and, with their help, keep the planet in balance. The Avatar vanished unexpectedly. His disappearance enabled the Fire Nation to launch war on the other nations, the Air Nomads, the Water Tribes, and the Earth Kingdom, in their attempt for global dominance. It's been a century since then. 14-year-old Katara, the last of the Southern Water Tribe's waterbenders, and her 15-year-old warrior brother Sokka are approaching a river at the South Pole. The Southern Water Tribe was once a great town, and their father is currently fighting in the battle. When they were children, their mother was imprisoned and killed. Food is scarce, so they regularly go hunting. They soon follow the traces of a tiger seal. When they looked beneath their feet, they noticed something shimmering and discovered a unique iceberg. Sokka hits the floor with his boomerang, causing an ice sphere to rise from the water. Katara breaks into the spherical, releasing a stream of light. The ice sphere frees a kid named Aang and a flying bison named Appa, who were trapped inside. Unknown to them, Aang is the long-lost Avatar, a spiritual being who keeps the world in balance. Via each incarnation, Katara and Sokka took Aang into their village. Aang claims that he ran away from home because he was upset. But then he got caught in a storm and was forced to swim beneath the ocean's surface. He thanks Katara for saving him and Appa. Zuko, an exiled prince of the Fire Nation, is on a mission to capture the Avatar and return him to his father. The Fire Lord Ozai Zuko and some Fire Nation soldiers arrive at the Southern Water Tribe, seeing the light that has appeared as a result of Aang's freedom, and demand that the villagers bring out their elderly, mistaking the Avatar for an older person. But Aang exposes himself when he surrenders to Zuko under the condition that he leave the town alone. Katara's aunt informs her that Aang is the lost Avatar, after watching his tattoos, that the Avatar's destiny is to bring peace to the world, and that Katara and Sokka must assist him. Aunt claims that only the Avatar can communicate with the spirits of the spirit world, who desire to maintain balance. It is filled with the most incredible sorts of fascinating creatures found in the most unusual valleys, mountains, and woods. Since the beginning, the spirits have kept a close eye on the planet. The Fire Nation refuses to live by the spirits, which is why the Avatar frightens them. They understand Appa can float. On the ship, Zuko's uncle Iroh tests Aang to authenticate his identity as the Avatar. After being informed that he will be imprisoned for completing the test, Aang escapes with his glider and flies to his flying bison, which Katara and Sokka have brought with them. Aang and his new friends visit the Southern Air Temple, where he discovers that he has been in the ice for a century, and that the Fire Nation exterminated all air nomads because they knew the future Avatar would be born among them, including his protector, Monk Gyatso. In despair, he enters the Avatar state and finds himself in the spirit realm, where he meets a dragon spirit who instructs him to travel to the Northern Water Tribe to master water bending. Katara's pleadings draw Aang out of the Avatar state. While visiting a small Earth Kingdom town ruled by the Fire Nation, Aang's group is apprehended while Katara attempts to assist a young boy on a patrol. They instigate revolt by reminding angry earthbenders that they were given the earth. The rescued tribe offers Katara a waterbending scroll stolen by the Fire people from the waterbending tribes, which she uses to perfect her waterbending and teach Aang waterbending as they travel to the Northern Water Tribe, liberating additional Earth Kingdom towns in the process. Aang explained to Katara that he had fled before the monks had fully trained him to be an Avatar, and hence needed to be taught how to bend earth, fire, and water. Aang claims that he went away because the monks warned him that as an Avatar, he couldn't have a normal life, or a family. They travel to the Northern Water Tribe, where Aang will study from waterbending masters. During a solo trip to the Northern Air Temple, Aang is betrayed by a peasant and captured by a troop of Fire Nation archers, led by Admiral Zhao. Zhao hates Zuko and wants the throne. Zhao followed the path of liberated villages left by Aang. Zhao also informs Emperor Ozai that he has captured a library of scrolls that show where the ocean spirits live in this world. If the spirits are murdered, the Northern Tribe's waterbenders will lose their skills. Ozai had banished Zuko when he stood up to a general who wanted to kill Zuko's companion in an unnecessary war. Ozai chastised Zuko by daring him to a fight. When Zuko refused to fight his father, Ozai declared him soft and banished him. In prison, Aang returns to the spirit world, where the dragon spirit informs Aang that Zhao has taken the scrolls that indicate the location of the ocean spirit, whom they want to kill. If this occurs, the waterbenders will lose their powers and the Northern Water Tribe will fall. He tells Aang to safeguard the Northern Water Tribe. However, a masked marauder known as the Blue Spirit assists Aang in escaping from prison. Zhao plans to assassinate the prince after learning that Zuko is the Blue Spirit. Zuko survives the assault on his life. Zhao instructs a crossbowman to fire a bolt that knocks Zuko out, but Aang uses his skills to escape with the unconscious Zuko. Aang stays over with Zuko until daylight, then leaves to rejoin Sokka, and Katara Zhao tries to kill Zuko again by blowing up his ship, but he manages to survive. With Iroh's assistance, he sneaks on board Zhao's lead ship as his fleet heads for the Northern Water Tribe to carry out the plan, where he and Ozai set up with scrolls from the library outlining the spirits present. They intend to prevent the Avatar from learning waterbending and defeating the Northern Water Tribe by killing the moon and ocean spirits, whose position is revealed by the scrolls to be near the Northern Tribe. When Aang's group arrives, the people of the Northern Water Tribe welcome them heartily. Sokka immediately befriends Yue, the princess of the Northern Water Tribe. Following a few agreements, Pakku, a waterbending teacher, guides Aang waterbending soon. The Fire Nation arrives, and Zhao launches his attack, while Zuko begins his own search for the Avatar by entering the city by stealth, tracking Aang to a sacred temple, and capturing Aang as he enters the spirit world to find the Dragon Spirit, which will grant him the wisdom to defeat the Fire Nation. The Dragon Spirit instructs him to use the ocean and show the power of water. Aang returns to his body and attacks Zuko before Katara freezes him. Meanwhile, at the city gates, Zhao orders an attack on the Northern Tribe, while Iroh watches Zhao capture the moon spirit Tui, who has taken on the form of a fish. Together with its water spirit counterpart, despite Iroh's pleas, Zhao kills Tui in order to strip the waterbenders of their skills and ability to waterbend. Iroh has had to pretend to accept Zhao's invitation to join his fleet as a commander after faking Zuko's death, and he opposes Zhao's plan to kill the moon spirit because he values them too highly. Enraged by Zhao's sacrilege, Iroh demonstrates his power of firebending, scaring Zhao and his entourage out of the sacred cave. Yue tells everyone that the moon spirit gave her life and that she is willing to give it back to bring the moon and ocean spirits back to life. With the tables reversed, Zhao is drowned by waterbenders when Zuko and Iroh abandon him. Recalling his existence before being locked in the ice, Aang enters the Avatar state and transforms the ocean into a massive wall to drive the Fire Nation back. Aang now completely embraces his destiny as the Avatar, as he, Katara, and Sokka prepare to continue their travels to the Earth Kingdom in search of an earthbending teacher for Aang. When Fire Lord Ozai learns of Zhao's murder and Iroh's treason, he appoints his daughter Azula to catch her uncle and Zuko, as well as deal with the Avatar, before Sozin's comet returns.